huge. It is huge. You are now dealing with a more informed market now. If you know that one of the consequences of the challenges in the market has been the fact that we've lost a number of retail investors. Now, if in losing this number of retail investors, they basically account for less than maybe 30% of the total market capitalization anyway. But in terms of the service delivery, in terms of perception, they account for a lot more. But as we develop the economy and we hope to open up the wealth opportunities to the market, we should encourage more retail investors to get in. We also believe there is a corollary in terms of what is happening with the telecommunications and the communications sector, whereby more people have access to mobile phones, have access to technology, have access to internet facilities, and as such they can actively engage in one of the most credible means of making legitimate money outside employment. Now, in a country that's facing challenges in growing the number of jobs, in growing the number of employment opportunities to young graduates as it's producing and whatever, people therefore need a market whereby these gentlemen on their own can intelligently enter, get an education, get enlightenment in terms of issues, understand what the rules of the game are, understand how to engage, and understand where to get the information to make those informed decisions. Proshare will satisfy that basic need. At a much more sophisticated level, for the journalists themselves, often at times they would have to go to people to help them in terms of computation of specific analysis and data. They do not need that. The information is available, not real time, but most especially within a very short period between when the market closes and when they can make use of the information. So they can also use that to constructively engage the general public on issues affecting not only the equities market, the bond market, the money market, and most importantly, the economy. At a much more discerning level, you talk about institutional investors and you talk about the diaspora market. Proshare offers you what you call a reliable and credible means of assessing data concerning the Nigerian economy. And so from that viewpoint, we felt that at some point, Nigeria needs to stand up and be accounted for itself. There must be people who would have to do that. We cannot continue to wait, and we feel that it provides for us a unique opportunity to bring out our own creative skills and our own commitments in meeting our own vision to say that we would provide information. And one of the reasons we also established a web television is that sometimes it is important that you can develop, you deliver the message straight away, in a clear manner, in a discerning manner, in a manner in which people can actually see the players talk about things for which they will be held accountable for. And so it's important that we do this. And one of the things that will be done on the Proshare Web TV will be things like giving the daily report in such a manner that people with their mobile phones can actually immediately, without waiting to read or download some information and data, can immediately see and hear information concerning the Nigerian capital market. It is our expectation that developments within the Nigerian Stock Exchange would continue at a much more better pace, and we can find some ways in which our service is complementary to their effort. And at the level of the Securities and Exchange Commission, in terms of being able to give them what you call a complementary service in terms of how they conduct their regulatory affairs, because sometimes regulation may not necessarily mean better business practices. And so we need to have such engagements and such divergent viewpoints. For the central bank, it is also important that we're able to communicate to the public on what happens. And so the new website is much a key component of the transition from the old era and into the new era. And so the new website basically spells it out that, look, everyone, we are in the new era. This is how the game is going to be played.